Hello, I'm Rex Basterfield, and this is a quick demonstration of our Quilcom RazorBlade. Now I said our because this is the result of an unintentional long collaboration between myself, Toolamide, Kevin Brown and Manfred Plumer. Now I say unintentional because this all started with a question or a request from Kevin Brown to see if anybody could extract the sound files, the WAV files, from the Ensoniq ESQ1 or SQ80 synthesizer. So Toolamide came up with an amazing extraction tool where we're able to get the sound files out as WAVs, and we decided that I should make a prototype synthesizer which was based on or inspired by those synthesizers by Ensoniq. So after a lot of help from Toolamide with the synthesizer specification and for testing and so on, Kevin Brown agreed to make this what I think is a lovely GUI for it, and also added a few extras to the workings to improve the functionality even further. Now, sound design is quite a big task, and you have to be really sort of cut out and creative and skilled at it, which I'm certainly not. But fortunately for us, we have a new friend, Manfred Plumer, who kindly offered to make a lot of presets for it. In fact, we ended up with 3 banks worth, and they are wonderful, and they do really explore the synthesizer very, very nicely in great depth. If I go full screen now, you'll see all these amazing presets. I'm not going to run through all of these, but they are just pick one or two at random. And that's what we term the factory bank, because it makes extensive use of the wave files in the oscillators, which are samples taken directly from the Ensoniq synthesizers. They are accurate to bit level, so you're getting the same sounds as was available in those classic 80 synthesizers. So if I just load up another bank, we'll go to the analogs bank. Then we'll have a look at the extreme bank. I'm just picking these randomly because I haven't really had time yet to run through all of them. So that's just to give you a little flavour of the stuff that Manfred created for this synthesizer, and just to give an inkling as to what it can achieve. I should mention at this point that Manfred also made the intro music and the outro music that we'll play at the end of the video, and that is all the sounds are made with the Quilcom RazorBlade. And I don't know, I shouldn't say it, but I just love this synthesizer. So what have we got here? We've got a fairly conventional architecture. We have 3 oscillators. They're nearly identical. Each oscillator has its own voltage controlled amplifier, to use old terminology, a multi-mode filter, variable state filter, another VCA here which controls the overall volume, and a pan control. And the important parameters can be modulated from a lot of sources, such as the 4 envelope generators and 3 LFOs, and velocity and keyboard scaling, and so on and so forth. One nice feature here is that these buttons here are different on each synth. So if we turn sync 2 on, then oscillator 1 is reset by oscillator 2. If we turn AM 1 times 2 on, and these two are ring modulated together, and oscillator 3 has got various FM capabilities. So that is FM 1 to 3, oscillator 3 is the carrier from oscillator 1, carrier from oscillator 2 as modulator, and both of them together modulating the frequency or phase, in actual fact, of oscillator 3. Just those additional features there can add so much to the capability of this synthesizer, so you need to explore them, and I hope you will. Now, as I said before, this is the exact same waves as was found in those Ensoniq synthesizers. So there you have them all. They have the same names as the originals, but I've added white, pink and brown noise because one of the criticisms of the original ESQ and SQ80 synths was they didn't have a proper noise generator. They had a waveform or two called noise, but it was just a racket, really. So now in addition you've got 3 different types of noise coming from available on each oscillator. Here you can also tweak the timbre of each oscillator independently by introducing a low pass filter or high pass filter. Modulation sources I've just shown you there. The VCAs can be modulated from any of the sources. The filter can have 2 sources to modulate it, for cutoff and resonance. Also, the panning left to right can be modulated from 1 source. The 3 identical LFOs can be free running or tempo sync to the host, in which case that then shows the ratio. For more information, read the user guide, please. And each LFO has what is in effect a little envelope generator where we can delay the start time. We can set the start and end level and the time it takes to go from the start to the end. So we can fade the LFO in or fade it out quickly at the start if we just want a little blip. And of course, there's a large range of waveforms of bipolar and unipolar. The 4 envelope generators are conventional attack, hold, decay, sustain, release one. They're all identical. But note that envelope 4 is assigned to VCA 4, so that just makes life a little bit easier. But you can still use envelope 4 as a modulation source anywhere else. One nice feature of the envelopes is that you can assign velocity to the attack. So if you hit the note harder, the attack time will be reduced based on how hard you hit the note. So you can have a nice slow attack on strings, hit the note harder, and it will be a faster attack. This one relates to keyboard positional tracking to the decay and release, because on many acoustic instruments the higher notes have a shorter decay and release time, so you can set the levels there. Now, one special feature that I added to the envelope generator is what I've called strike, and this adds a little percussive spike or strike sound at the start of the envelope generator, so it raises the level. So that depends on the attack time set and how hard you hit the key, irrespective of the velocity set here. So I'll just demonstrate that so you get the idea of it. This is with no strike at all. Then I'll bring up the strike sound. I'm playing the note at different velocities there. Without. So I hope you'll agree that it really does add something to the range of timbre and responsiveness and expressivity you can get from these envelope generators. Now, over in the global settings, obviously, most of this is straightforward stuff, but there's one or two features which may be a bit unusual. One is the pitch bend held. If you switch it to pitch bend all, but then if you switch it to pitch bend held, you can just bend the notes that you depressed. And so I'll play a chord and then I'll play, release that, and then just play one note. And only the held note gets bent, which I think is rather nice, and it took ages to work out how to do that. Another feature on this RazorBlade synthesizer is the glide can be polyphonic. So if I turn glide on, we've got a fairly long time there. Some interesting noises to be made there. If I turn the glide down really short, it can sound more musical. And of course, if we switch to mono mode, we've got a normal sort of monophonic glide. I really should mention finally the two effects built into this, which were chosen quite carefully, both made by the very excellent, talented and capable Martin Vekanik. I never know if I pronounce his name right, but there we go. That's how it's written. So we have his chorus, which is a chorus, and his M-verb 7B, which is a reverb, surprisingly. And I think both of these two effects add a lot to warm up the sound and make it sound much more interesting and nice. Because you don't have to use them; you can turn them off and use your own external effects, your own favourite effects. Now, this synth has taken nearly 2 years to make, on and off, and 4 people involved. So I really do hope you like it and that you'll give it an outing and see what you think. And once again, thanks to everybody involved. Manfred Plumer for the music and the presets, which are amazing. Toolamide. Without Toolamide, there would be no RazorBlade because we wouldn't have got the WAVs. And Kevin Brown for the GUI and his other contributions. So another piece of Manfred's will play you out, and I hope you have some fun with this, enjoy messing around with it, and read the user guide. And until the next time, I shall say bye.